Everything changed the moment the system awakened. Levels, stats, skills, dungeons, power beyond imagination. With the blood of a Saiyan, the mind of a gamer, and a destiny that will shake the entire shinobi world, Naruto is about to become something far greater than Hokage. This is Naruto, the Gamer Experience. Now let's begin today's chapter. Naruto pants softly as he makes his daily 5 kilometers run with his face hidden by a hoodie and rain falling. It has been just over a week since his life changed somewhat for the better as his new gamer bloodline changed his life. Another week and he would challenge the hidden boss as he has 2 more attempts on the dungeon before it becomes unusable and he would move to a higher level. The changes enacted by Itachi allowed Naruto to see Mizuki fired for his actions against him and few other students as Umbu were watching. The former sent him out for the simplest of things with a smug look on his face, but when confronted broke the former Sandame's law, which led to his firing but also his death. What kind of hidden boss will you encounter? Another type Goblin Musashi says, as Naruto finishes his run. Who knows, Naruto thought. 6 more days pass and the day is Sunday as Naruto is making his final prep for the hidden boss after finishing his dailies but then checks his stats. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 17, 11500/17,000. Stats. HP, 17,500. CP, 17,500. CC, 35%. STR, 70. SPD, 65. STA, 85. Dex, 50. VIT, 75. CHK, 95. WIS, 50. Stat points, 37. So the hidden boss will be LVL 37, but I'll level up by clearing the normal boss. Though I have another try, but why wait, Naruto says, securing his sword to his belt with the red cord. He's wearing black hybrid Hakama ninja pants with combat boots, a fitted dark top and sleeveless jacket having a hood with black gloves. He uses his remaining stat points on his dex, bringing it to 60, WIS to 60, SPD to 70 and the rest to STR, bringing that to 72. Naruto enters the dungeon and tears through the goblins in record time, dispatching the goblin champion and leveling up to level 18. You have successfully defeated the dungeon boss. Do you wish to challenge hidden boss? Yes/no. Music, Slipknot Custer, Loop. Naruto accepts and is transported not to another forest but to a large arena littered with broken weapons and ugly jagged scars gouged into the ground. People were in the crowd with a near-deafening roar as pillars of flames burst from the drop-off around the arena. Naruto sees not a goblin but a man wearing indigo to purple kimono with the right side of his chest and right arm exposed, black boots and black hair in a high ponytail. He has a cynical smile on his face and a sword resting on his left shoulder, his right resting inside his kimono. So, I finally get to see the one killing goblins. Greetings, Goblin Slayer. Call me Shin, the man says. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto says, and Shin chuckles. An Uzumaki. That red hair should have been a dead giveaway, Shin says, as Naruto uses observe. Hidden dungeon boss, Shin. Rank, missing Nin. Level 37, 0/37,000. Stats. HP, 30,000. CP, 27,000. CC, 70%. STR, 100. SPD, 85. STA, 85. Dex, 100. VIT, 100. CHK, 90. WIS, 90. Stat points, 5. Bonus per level. Missing Nin, gain 2 for each stat. Abilities. Unknown. He has high dex. STR and VIT. So I need to be smart and his abilities are unknown to Naruto thought. Well then Uzumaki. Let's see how strong you are. Because the strong devour the weak, Shin declares, as flames rise. Naruto and Shin shoot forward with simultaneous swings as their swords clang loudly and both push on their blades as they scrap on one another, with Naruto breaking back into a leap, bringing his sword down and Shin blocking as the ground buckles underneath him. Naruto flips forward and swings behind Shin, but he blocks. Nice reflexes. Though Shin says, pushing his sword forward, and it ignites to cut open the redhead's right shoulder. Did he set the sword on fire with friction? Naruto thought. Shin drives his sword into the ground and drags it across a tearing row of flames, something Naruto narrowly dodges, but Shin raises his sword and sets it on fire with his sheath. Shin brings it down and slashes Naruto across the chest to send the redhead staggering back. So how does it feel to be cut and burned? Shin says. Naruto slows his breath and shoots forward with a Gatatsu strike, but Shin catches with blade between his gloved fingers, before yanking him forward into a crushing knee. Come now Uzumaki. Don't disappoint me, Shin says, looking over Naruto. The redhead springs up with several precise swings as Shin parries, before igniting his sword once again and bring it down to burn Naruto's right hand. Are you confused, Uzumaki? Shin says, igniting it once again and bringing it down to create a near cage of flames around Naruto. Shin pushes through the flames and grabs Naruto by his jacket as the redhead smells something odd, but it is too late as Shin runs his sword along his glove, creating an explosion that tosses Naruto back as the crowd roars. As you languish on the ground, I'll tell you a secret about my sword. It never rusts. Never dulls, and each person I kill leaves a little fat and oil to be set ablaze, Shin says. Naruto lays on his back as blood pours from his wound, but it slowly closes. Thanks Musashi, he thought, putting his remaining points into dex. Uzumaki Ryu style Kenjutsu, intermediate skills unlocked. Naruto gasps as more of his swordsmanship is unlocked and melded to his brain. A sword like that is very impressive, he says, his eyes starting to bleed red. Interesting. Has his blood awakened? Shin thought. Naruto rushes forward with another Gatatsu strike and Shin parries, but the redhead chains it into a side-sweeping attack, forcing Shin to dodge. Naruto moves again, but with a running Iato draw that forces Shin on the back foot, but he jerks as a chain pierces his leg as he shuns Shin's back. You Uzumaki were always tricky with those chains, he says. Naruto sprints forward into another clash of swords, but this time is keeping up with Shin, breaking through his guard to slash his shoulder at the cost of Shin cutting his side. Shin grabs Naruto by the throat and lifts him off the ground, but the redhead brings his hilt down, causing Shin to ignite his glove and destroying his fingers. Clever brat, Shin says, glancing to his destroyed hand. Naruto has his sword in a high stance and his legs bent slightly. Shin ignites his sword into small fire cyclone as Naruto rockets forward. Uzumaki Ryu, tearing claws, the redhead calls out, bringing his sword down. Shin's chest bursts with blood as Naruto's attack connects and his attack burning the remains of the redhead's top, before crashing on his back with his eyes open. Song ends. Hidden boss defeated. 20,000 EXP 75,000 Rio. Level up. Demonic Dungeon Level 5 open. Opponents will now be 10 levels more than yours, and the dungeon boss will be 15 levels above yours. Naruto falls on his bed after returning from the dungeon with his body still showing the scars from his fight with Shin. You did good, boy, Musashi says. Yeah, and thanks for the chakra aid. Still a long way to go, Naruto says. Thanks to Gamer Mind, he was not freaking out on killing Shin. You've killed so many goblins. Why feel disgusted? Musashi says. Shin was different. He talked. Though we were enemies. He was a person, Naruto says. Days would pass and it was Saturday as the redhead decides to check out the level 5 demon dungeon. He also learns he has inherited Shin's sword technique and his sword could ignite from friction but containing no fat or oil, instead using the chakra metal from his sword. Welcome to Demonic Dungeon Level 5. Quest received. 1. Defeat all the enemies within the dungeon. 0 out of 200. To defeat the dungeon boss. 0 to 1. Rewards. 1. 20,000 EXP. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 21, 5,000/21,000. Stats. HP, 21,500. CP, 21,500. CC, 35%. STR, 82. SPD, 80. STA, 100. Dex, 70. VIT, 95. CHK, 115. WIS, 70. Stat points, 15. Skill unlocked KI blasts or energy blasts, use chakra to fire blasts of energy. Attacks can be purchased in store. Level 21. Plus energy attacks Naruto says, as how to use such skills is melded once again to mind. The dungeon is a desert for miles as the redhead lifts off the ground but also erases his presence, before bringing up the store. He buys the energy blade skills Shinretsuzan or God Slicer with its linked skills Violent God Slicer, Azure Dragon's Sword and Scythe of Sorrow. Odd names Musashi comments and Naruto chooses Energy Wave's Gallic Gun, Final Flash, Final Shine and Bararak Saika. This should be good enough for now, Naruto says, looking around and creates about a dozen clones. Spread out and practice our new skills, Naruto says, and they nod, flying off in different directions. He holds out his arm level with his shoulder and channels his chakra as his arm to his elbow is coated in glimmering blue energy, intriguing, Naruto says, moving his arm around like a blade. He dispels his chakra sword and points his right hand but braces it with his left, Bararak Saika, Naruto says, before a wide lightning blast erupts. It meets the ground and explodes wildly but gets a prompt of 10 enemies dead, really, Naruto says, landing by the wide burnt crater about 15 feet deep. He peers in and sees the charred corpses of large sandworms. It seems your enemy is subterranean, Musashi says. Seems so, Naruto says, creating a clone and it promptly dispelling to tell his other clones the discovery. He then tries another energy wave as green energy forms in his left hand. Final Shine, Naruto shouts, shooting his hand forward and the blast explodes out. A few more sandworm meet their end and more begin to attack as Naruto fires small blasts in a light blue color in every direction. Skill created, Bursting Machine Gun Blow. Half a day passes in the dungeon as Naruto kills sandworms with a combo of energy blasts, his sword skills or hand-to-hand. The heat helps with his stamina, but he needed buy water from the store, but soon he would encounter the boss. The ground rumbles violently around Naruto and forces him to take to the skies, while the sand parts for nearly a mile as the sandworm boss rises. He looks nearly my sized, Musashi says. The boss roars from his massive mouth as Naruto tries his new skill, but it has no effect on the large worm. Looks like I have the speed advantage. Maybe I can use the Gallic Gun or Final Flash, but there is the charge time, he thought. The redhead creates about 50 clones as he flies higher and raises his arms level as a blue flame aura surrounds Naruto as he charges his attack. Veins become pronounced on his arms and upper body as he brings his arms forward with his wrists touching and fingers spread. Graph. Ngra, Naruto hisses, as a orb of energy forms in his hands but tails of energy shooting off ever so often. The wind picks up from the amount of chakra Naruto is using as his clones keep the boss at bay, now. Final Flash. A hug, he roars, his blast exploding forth with enough concussive force to destroy the boss. Naruto pants heavily as his vision blurs and he falls to the sands below but completes his quest. Quest completed. Level up. Awards. 20,000 EXP. Naruto awakes to knocking and finds himself in his bed. Who could that be, he says, heading to the door and opening. A pair of breasts hit him in the face with loud laughing. How's it going, Chibi? A voice says, before the redhead looks up. Oh, it's you, Naruto says. Oh, be more enthusiastic. It's your Anu. The married but sexy Anko Hataki, the woman crows. Sorry, Anu. I woke up from a weird dream, Naruto says, inviting her inside. Anko has violet hair in a fanned ponytail, wearing a mesh bodysuit, jean short shorts, a tan trench coat and shin guards with sandals. What about Anko asks. I was fighting sandworms and one was huge, Naruto says and uses observe on Anko, but her level hovers at 40 due to an abnormal status. Quest received, save Anko Hataki. 1. Remove Anko's curse mark. Rewards. 1. 15,000 EXP. 2. Plus 1,000 rep with Anko. 3. Plus 500 rep with Kakashi. 4. That's weird, Chibi, Anko says. So what brings you by, Naruto asks, logging into his head to work on his Fuinjutsu to help Anko. Guy told Kashi he saw you doing some exercises. So as your big bro, he got concerned, Anko says, sitting on the sofa as he makes some tea. Well, I decided to do some serious physical training, Naruto says. Well, that's good. The Godame's new training for the academy will help too, Anko says. Naruto places her tea down and takes the recliner. So how's your love life, Anko says, and Naruto blushes, as she giggles. Well, there is the Senju heiress, Fuga heiress and Uchiha heiress. Tough choices. Though you may not have to, Anko says. If you only knew, but the number will be 6, Naruto thought and rubs his neck. Think so, he says. Yeah. You're the last of your clan. So you're entitled to the CRI, Anko says. Tsunade said the same, Naruto says, and Anko smirks, drinking her tea. Well, I look forward to your harem, Chibi. Kashi will be so proud, Anko says, finishing her tea and ruffling his red hair before leaving. Naruto would continue splitting time in dungeons and going to the academy, with the sandworm dungeon's hidden boss being an even larger sandworm. He would hold off on dungeons and focused on the academy as his dailies were helping him level up, but also hanging with Tsunade, Sarada and Kagaya would eat into his time, also working on his Fuinjutsu. A year would pass and Naruto is entering his 4th year at the academy with about 3/4 of the civilian-born ninja quit. 1 year later. 14-year-old Naruto sits in his class as his thoughts were on trying a dungeon for the first time in a year. His dailies were sufficient enough to help him level up to level 53, his stats were all well over 100. His observe could now see Jonin level and many were 70 and above, his big bro Kakashi near 90. Itachi sits at 100, same as Tsunade's mom and the former Sandame. Due his Saiyan body he would surpass 100, though there could be those surpassing 100 outside the village. He also unlocked the Kaioken, a technique capable of increasing his power for a heartbeat. His strength, speed, and even his sensory awareness is greatly increased for an instant, but it is extremely taxing on the body and he is working on stamina. He can currently maintain Kaioken ×3 for a total of 7 seconds thanks to his clones. The max of Kaioken is ×100, but he could also chain it with SSJ and higher forms. Perhaps by the time you graduate, you will have achieved SSJ, Musashi says. Maybe. Dailies aren't doing much anymore. So I'll need dungeons, Naruto thought, glancing around the class. Kiba is glaring at him as his alpha ego couldn't best him in spars, so he resorted to spreading rumors through Sakura and cronies. They would complain he is cheating in their matches or on tests but could never give any evidence of it. He should sooner or later get it into his head you are stronger than him, Boya, Musashi says. Maybe, Naruto thought. Classes soon end and Naruto leaves with his trio, but they see Kakashi standing at the gate with an orange in his hand. He has silver hair with his Hittite covering his left eye and a cloth mask over the lower half of his face, wearing the standard Konoha attire. He is such a perv. Even though he's married, Tsunade says. Because he reads your dad's book in public, Naruto says, and the blonde nods. Even Sarutobiji-san reads them, Tsunade adds. Hello princesses, Kakashi says. What brings you here, Naruto says. Wanted to see you, Kakashi says, as the four follow the Jonin before the girls break off. Have you done your affinity yet, Kakashi says. No, not yet, Naruto says, and Kakashi hands him a slip of paper. Well, let's find out, Kakashi says. Naruto looks over the paper and channels his chakra as it splits in half, with one half becoming wet and the other burning. Ho! Futon. Suetun and Katon, Kakashi says, and gives his sensei's son an eye smile. 3 affinities. You will have quite the arsenal, he adds. Naruto smiles and may check the store for some jutsu on top what the academy will teach. Will you show me how change my chakra, he says. Sure. I'll ask the Hokage about teaching you another jutsu that will aid you, Kakashi says. He may mean the Kage Bunshin, Musashi says, and Naruto mentally nods. Kakashi would take Naruto to one of the training grounds and show him the basics on change in chakra nature. For his 3 affinities he would have to be able to cut a leaf for wind, burn a leaf for fire, and wet a leaf for water. In turn, Naruto would reveal his energy blasts by passing things off as the reading about the Uzumaki and their ability to create chains with their chakra. Kakashi would ask for a demonstration and Naruto would do some weaker energy blasts, even showing his God Slicer, Violent God Slicer, Azure Dragon Sword, and Scythe of Sorrow. Kakashi is both shocked and impressed, but also thought Naruto has the naming sense as his father, though also thought Azure Dragon Sword and Scythe of Sorrow were cool. Well, Naruto, I'll speak to the Hokage about things. So meet me here after class tomorrow, Kakashi says, and vanishes with Leaf Shunshin. Naruto heads home and changes into a dark jumpsuit for the dungeon, also stocking up on food and water in case of extended time inside. He enters the dungeon and finds himself in another forest, but more foreboding than his first dungeon. Welcome to Demonic Dungeon Level 15. Enemies will be 20 levels higher and dungeon boss 35 levels higher. New feature, checkpoints, which will allow you to leave a dungeon without losing rewards. Can only be done once per dungeon level, so choose wisely. Quest received. 1. Defeat all the enemies within the dungeon. 0 out of 400. 2. Defeat the dungeon boss. 0 to 1. Rewards. 1. 50,000 EXP. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 53, 88, 586/310000. Stats. HP, 61,500. CP, 61,500. CC, 65%. STR, 150. SPD, 140. STA, 200. Dex, 110. VIT, 150. CHK, 160. WIS, 120. Stat points, 0. Checkpoints will be a big help, but only once is a drag, Naruto says, and several Nara sneeze. He creates several dozen clones and sends them to work on the Kaioken, but also deal with enemies as well. Naruto moves around the forest and after about 15 minutes encounters a group of enemies resembling humanoid wolves. Ha, I found Kiba's own kind, he says, and uses Observe to learn they are called Beastmen. The Beastmen growl as Naruto remains calm as their ki is not affecting him. Alright, let's go, he says, running towards them. The group of 6 rush forward as the redhead leaps over a wide swipe into a spinning will kick, snapping one's head and slicing another with God Slicer. A third swings a claw strike, but Naruto dispels God Slicer and grabs the arm into a judo toss, before grabbing its leg and sending it into a fourth as both crash into a tree. The fifth grabs Naruto from behind, but the red uses his legs to crash his knee into its snout, causing it to let him go, and an energy blast puts it down. The last runs off, but suddenly something slices it down the middle. A big boy, Naruto says. A larger beastman, easily about 9 feet tall, appears with long claw dripping with blood from its dead kin. It roars loudly and Naruto has to cover his ears, but has the wherewithal to duck under its wide swipe. Clever boy, Naruto thought, connecting with a body blow and dodging its downward counterattack. He turns and runs towards a tree as the beastman follows, but Naruto runs up said tree as it crashes into it, allowing Naruto to land and kill it with his machine gun blows. The boss will perhaps be even larger, Musashi says. Probably, Naruto says. It would be near midnight when Naruto finds the boss, encountering various beastmen of various animals. Some were cat, lizard, jackal, eagle, and dragon-like. The boss is in a large area and sitting on a throne of bones with a very muscular body and a lion's head. Musashi had been right, as the boss is easily 20 feet tall and uses observe with its level being nearly 75. It can also summon minions, but also its regeneration is high and can harden its skin. Music, the under, ride or die. The boss roars loudly and his minions appear with chattering noises as Naruto lowers his stance and unleashes his aura like blue flame around his body. Naruto releases a long breath and rockets forward as the minions do the same. He meets them with fists, elbows, headbutts, knees, shins and kicks. Final shine, Naruto shouts, erasing a swath of minions as the boss growls and rises to its feet. It grabs a very large Tetsubo as its steps crack the ground and swings its weapon, but Naruto dodges as the boss kills its minions. No care for minions, it seems, Naruto says, dodging another swing. He lands on the boss arm holding the Tetsubo and runs up the length into a leap, firing a blast of energy into its face. The boss staggers back but swings its free arm into Naruto and sends him flying, but the redhead halts in air. That would have broken me a year ago, Naruto says. The boss roars and fires a fire cyclone from its mouth as Naruto flies around it to bring out his Azure Dragon sword. Naruto swings his energy sword in an odd dance, but several javelins of energy pierce the boss in several spots before Naruto halts with his left knee up, his left hand forward and his energy sword aiming down over his head. The javelins explode and knocks the boss on its back, but it slowly rises with its wounds healing as Naruto seizes his energy sword. Kaioken X3, Naruto shouts. A red and fiery aura surrounds his whole body and his clothes acquiring a reddish tint too, even bristling his hair and his clothes. Naruto curls his fingers and places both his hands together at chest level facing the same direction fuchsia red energy forms. Gallic gun, he shouts, firing a large beam. It digs through the boss and forces it on its back. It seems its regeneration is trying to keep up and Naruto grits his teeth. Kaioken. NGHHH. X5, he roars, and the beam expands to destroy the boss. Song end. Boss defeated. Rewards. 1. 50,000 EXP. The next day Naruto heads to the academy, and today is the Shogi/Go tournament, but meeting Kakashi after the academy, Kaioken really shreds the body. I could barely move after using ×5", he thought. If you didn't have Uzumaki in me, you would not be walking today, Musashi says. Naruto enters class and sees the trio sitting near the top row before giving each a wave, his thoughts on their goal being head girl when graduate. I believe the little Senju may win out. Though the Hyuga is a close second, Musashi says. Naruto. Mother has invited you to dinner, Kagaya says. Oh. What time, and should I bring something, Naruto says. 5 and cinnamon buns, Kagaya says. Of course, Sarada and Tsunade thought. Classes go by as normal and the Shogi/Go matches begin as each have matches with Naruto besting Kiba and others, but Shikamaru is always a challenge. You're getting better, Naruto, Shikamaru says, winning their match. Thanks, Shika, Naruto says. The day finishes and Naruto meets Kakashi and is right, he got permission from the Hokage to teach him the Kage Bunshin, before heading home and preparing to head to the Hyuga. I'll have to fake learning the jutsu, Naruto thought. Give it a few days, Musashi says. Naruto takes a shower and dresses in black slacks with matching shoes and a white button-up, before heading to the sweet shop and buying a dozen cinnamon buns. The Hyuga have one of the larger clan compound and he arrives about 20 minutes before 5, their guards letting him inside and one guiding him to the main house. Hello, Naruto, Kagaya says, waiting at the entrance with her little twin sisters Hinata and Hanabi. Naruto is glad Hinata didn't vanish when he chose Kagaya, but she is still shy as ever, hiding behind Kagaya's leg and Hanabi confidently at her older sister's side. Lady Kagaya. I'll take Lady Hinata and Lady Hanabi, their attendant Natsu says, and guides the 4-year-olds away. Father and mother are waiting, Kagaya says, taking the buns from him. Naruto slips off his shoes and follows Kagaya to the dinner room, complete with low tables and cushions. Hayashi sits at the head of the table with a serious demeanor and Hitomi to his left with a smile on her face. Naruto. How good of you to join us, she says. Thank you for inviting me, Naruto says, bowing. Take a seat next to Niji, Hayashi says. Naruto sees the stoic Hyuga and takes his seat, but he did not greet the redhead, just a curt nod. Niji didn't like him or Kagaya for that matter because of the Kumo affair she told him about, losing his father and blaming her for it. Food is being served and Naruto glances to Kagaya's parents. Her mother adores him and her father tolerates him despite his good rep with the Hyuga clan. Dinner is quiet affair as the Hyuga were not much for talking during dinner compared to Sarada and Tsunade's family. He would soon be brought to another room for tea to allow Kagaya and Hitomi to devour their prey of cinnamon buns. The twins were here but no Hayashi or Niji. Naruto. Do you believe you will become Rookie Shinobi of the Year when you graduate? Hitomi asks. That's still 2 years away, but I'll try, Naruto replies, and Hitomi covers her mouth to laugh at how adorable he is. Kagaya told me about her bet with Sarada and Tsunade. Because of it, I have been stepping up her training. I know you would want a strong head wife, Hitomi says, and Kagaya blushes brightly. What's a wife? Hanabi asks, and Hitomi pulls her into her lap. A wife is a woman who is married like me or Lady Tobium or Lady Makoto, to name a few, Hitomi explains. So Kagaya-nisama will be Naruto's wife? Hinata asks. Not yet, but someday. Far down the road, Hitomi says, and Naruto looks down, his cheeks matching his hair. Naruto would stay at the Hyuga until around 7 and bid them good night to make his way home in Red Light District, but suddenly a prompt appears. Special quest received. Aid Hanayama Karu. Rewards. 1. 25,000 EXP. 3. 750 Rep Hanayama. 2. Summon Scroll. Special quest Ha. A summon scroll would come in handy, Naruto thought, rushing to find Hanayama. It doesn't take long to find Hanayama as numerous Yakuza were fighting near a bar, but the sight is very tall man in a torn-up white suit on one knee and an equally tall man standing over him. Ha ha ha. I knew poison would do the trick and negate that freakish strength of you, the man says. Boss, another man shouts, being held down by a few men. Several see him as their boss monologues. What are doing here, kid? One says, looking like some atypical Yakuza. I'm here to help Hanayama, Naruto says, and both men laugh, as one reaches to grab him. Naruto judo tosses him to break some of his teeth as he crashes to the ground, and this gets the attention of others. The second swings a fist, but Naruto cracks him with a counter, dropping him like a sack of potatoes. Who is that brat? The boss shouts and orders his men to deal with Naruto. Hanayama sees Naruto fighting his rival's men and making short work of them. So that is Naruto Uzumaki, the Jinchuriki, he thought. Veins bulge on the rival boss Goto as Naruto tears through him men, his plan of moving into Konoha failing, and some punk kid is the reason. How hard is it to kill some kid? Goto roars, stomping towards Naruto, but the redhead crashes his dress shoes into Goto's face. He recovers and swings some heavy but wide swings as Naruto uses his small stature to his advantage, his hummingbird taijutsu to land counters or crippling blows. However, Naruto's eyes bulge as Goto sends a heavy kick and doubles him over, but the redhead uses Kawarimi with one of his goons as Goto comes down with a double sledge. Naruto wipes some slobber from his mouth and calls on a little of Musashi's chakra as Goto tears off his suit top, showing off his honed muscles. I don't know who you are, brat, but you're gonna die, Goto says, icily. Naruto keeps a tight guard ready as Goto rushes forward again, but the redhead connects with a knee to his chin into a flurry of punches to his chest. Naruto clenches his right into a leaping uppercut and breaking Goto's chin as he falls to his knees, before Naruto focuses his chakra to his right, but a hand lands on his shoulder. Leave it to me, Uzumaki, Hanayama says. Naruto watches in mild shock as Hanayama grabs Goto by the throat and literally tears it out with his fingers. Quest completed. Rewards: 1. 25,000 EXP. 2. 750 Rep Hanayama. 3. Summon Scroll. Hanayama turns his attention to Naruto as he wipes his hand on a cloth. "You helped me," Hanayama says, and Naruto nods. "Thank you. You have my respect, Naruto Uzumaki," he adds. "You know me," Naruto says. "Not much goes on here, I don't know," Hanayama says and beckons for the redhead to follow him. Naruto looks Hanayama and he is easily 6 feet 3 inches with a muscular body under his white suit and scars on his face. "So who was that guy?" Naruto asks. "He sought to move my family but used weak tactics," Hanayama says, as they reach a nightclub. Several girls smile and wave as Naruto follows Hanayama inside to an office as night-goers were having fun. "Since you are aspiring to become a shinobi, I can offer you this as a token of thanks," Hanayama says, grabbing a medium-sized scroll with a green cord wrap. "Are you sure?" Naruto says. Hanayama places the scroll into Naruto's hand with his eyes hidden by the glint of his glasses. "Call it an investment," Hanayama says. Naruto clutches the scroll and bows at the waist. "Thank you, sir," he says. "When you graduate, come here and I'll have one my girls make you a man," Hanayama says. Naruto leaves the club and makes his way, but his face turns red as he realizes Hanayama wanted him to sleep with a hooker. "It would prepare you for your harem," boy of Musashi says. He makes it home and uses Observe on his new summon scroll as it says is for the Oni summon clan. "Oni," Naruto says. "Violent creatures but bring good fortune and some are able to fly," Musashi says, and Naruto's eyes widen. The next off day from the academy, Naruto would show Kakashi his new summon scroll and explain how he got it. The famed copy ninja is shocked and astonished that a person like Hanayama had such a scroll in his possession. Kakashi would take Naruto to Itachi and register it with the village but also begin to show him how to summon, also showing him how to sign said contract in blood. "Alright, Naruto. Prick your finger and weave the signs before slamming your hand on the ground or clapping your hands together," Kakashi says. "It has been about a month since Naruto has signed the contract. Let's see your Oni," Tsunade says, as Sarada and Kagaya were watching as well. Naruto bites his thumb and weaves the signs boar, dog, bird, monkey and ram. "Kuchios no Jutsu," Naruto declares, clapping his hands, and a large puff of smoke erupts before he narrowly dodges a blade. The smoke dies down to reveal a humanoid man with long crimson hair tied in a ponytail, amber-brown eyes, and a set of dual-colored horns. He wears a long white shirt, brown pants held up by a belt adorned with large magatama beads as well as long white socks and sandals. "Where am I?" the Oni says and sees Naruto, but his eyes widen at the redhead's power. "I summoned you. My name is Naruto Uzumaki," Naruto says. "I see. I am Iro and I apologize for drawing my blade on you," the Oni says, sheathing his nagamaki that is tall as him. "Are you the boss summoned?" Sarada says and Iro looks her way. "Oh, I am Sarada Uchiha." "They are Tsunade Senju, Kagaya Hyuga and Kakashi Hatake," she adds. "No, that would be Benimaru," Iro says. "So what does it entail for Naruto to be accepted as your summoner?" Kakashi says. "I will summon our elder and he will be judged," Iro says and slams his sword down and another puff of smoke erupts. It dies down to reveal a older-looking Oni having silver hair, 2 white, ivory-like horns, a long silver goatee and sharp eyes. He wears a white overcoat, covered on the shoulders and neck by a pale brown and matching scarf. "Ha ho ho. What do we have here?" Iro the elder says, stroking his beard. "His name is Naruto and he summoned me," Elder Hakuru Iro says. Hakuru looks over Naruto as a third opens over his forehead. "I see. You are very interesting, young Naruto, and I believe you can bring our forgotten clan back to prominence. So I accept you as our summoner. Now remove your shirt and turn around," he says. Naruto does as he is told and shows his back to Hakuru before the old Oni places his hands on the redhead's back. He yelps in pain as the tattoo of a red Oni and blue Oni fighting appears, and on that day the first summoner of the Oni clan in decades is born. 2 years later. 16-year-old Naruto sits on the bank of the river that runs through the village, his thoughts on being on the cusp of reaching LVL 100 and with it SSJ. The last 2 years has grinding dailies and beating dungeons to reach his point, but also endless training. He sits unchallenged at the academy, but Kiba seems to refuse to believe it. Upon graduation he would be apprenticed to Kakashi and work as a solo team due to his Kage Bunshin. The hidden boss should put you over 100, Musashi says. Yeah, Naruto says. You graduate in 2 days, right? A voice says, and Naruto looks back to see Hanayama. The pair have become decent friends over the past 2 years and great sparring partner, yeah, Naruto says. Hanayama chugs from a bottle of bourbon with his eyes on the redhead. Still want my offer from our first meeting, Hanayama says. No. Those 3 would skin me alive, Naruto says. Those 3 are fiercely protective of you, Hanayama says. Naruto gets to his feet and he now stands about 5 feet 8 inches with his body being muscular, flexible, and durable, having a few scars but his back unblemished. He moves up the bank to bump fist with Hanayama and makes his way home as one goal is on his mind. He reaches home and makes a shadow clone to watch things but work on a project, finish working on a new seal breaker. Once graduation happens, Kakashi may let me do it, Naruto says, and the clone nods. Checkpoint. Do you wish to challenge Hidden Boss? Yes/no. Hidden Boss Challenge. Defeat Unchained, user transported to Unchained's domain with restrictions in place. Ki Blasts, locked, Chakra Chain, locked, Flight, locked, Kaioken, locked, and Uzumaki Ryu-style Kenjutsu, locked. Rewards. 1. 250000 EXP. 2. Unlock special area, world will change. Music, the Under Fight, loop. Naruto is transported to a very small room of 8 by 8 feet or smaller with his arms above and behind his head, special area? What does that mean, he says, moving his arms, and finds his thumbs are locked. Suddenly the metal door to his right groans and tears as the metal twists at the handle, before being ripped open by a man. Greetings, player, the man says, walking in after tossing the door aside. He is dark-skinned man standing about 6 feet 3 inches and packed with muscle in a black 3-piece suit. How strong do you have to be to twist metal like that? Naruto thought and uses observe, but his eyes widen. His street is at 1000, he thought. He must be Unchained, Musashi says. Unchained looks over Naruto and touches his body in places. So? When do you wish to fight? I can provide a stage for us to fight, Unchained says, smiling. No need for that. We don't need to wait, Naruto says. You want to fight right here, Unchained says. Naruto wastes no time with a rising knee into a kick to the throat as he lands, sending Unchained into the wall and spilling blood, but the large man slams a palm into the redhead. Naruto crashes through the wall as Unchained flexes out of his suit and leaving it standing, leaving him wearing a tiger speedo. Then let's begin, player, Unchained says. Naruto breaks his cuffs and punches Unchained's gut, but he grabs Naruto's arm and pulls him back through the wall, grabbing his ankle and starts flinging the redhead like one would put a sheet on a clothesline. Naruto couldn't make head or tails of things before Unchained lets him fly up, only for him to spear them through several walls. Unchained picks Naruto up and tosses him into the steel door with a thud into a weighted punch with enough force to rip it off its hinges, sending Naruto off some railing and falling about 20 feet. Seems we're in a prison, Musashi says, as Unchained lands near him. Naruto tries to move, but Unchained grabs his ankle and flings him like wet towel with enough force to crack the concrete floor a foot deep. Is that all, player, Unchained says. Naruto slowly starts to move and rises to his feet with this air about him before removing his shirt to reveal the dueling Oni on his back. Thanks for the wake-up call, he says, and Unchained chuckles, raising his arms. Naruto readies to attack, but Unchained shocks him by manipulating his muscles and becomes an almost complete sphere. What? Naruto says and sends a heavy punch into Unchained, but it has no effect. His muscles are very defined and may dampen your attacks, Musashi says. Naruto clenches his left arm as his veins become pronounced into a heavy step-in, but Unchained grabs his hand and opens like the jaws of a giant predator. He pulls Naruto in like he is eating the redhead, before spitting him like a piece of gum. Unchained looms over Naruto and raises his foot to bring it on, but the redhead snaps awake to roll away from each. Naruto rises, but Unchained slips back into his ball, and this time the redhead is ready by letting himself be caught and drives fingers in his nose. Unchained cries out in pain and sends Naruto crashing back with a back fist, but he recovers, shooting forward as both connect with heavy blows. "Keep pushing, boy," Musashi says. Naruto and Unchained keep punching with blood flying, but the latter is being pushed back until Unchained's back hits the wall. Hyakuretsu Ken, Naruto roars, with 100 fists slamming into Unchained until he falls on his butt. Hidden boss defeated. Rewards: 1. 250000 EXP. 2. Unlocked special area. Level up. Quest received. Awakened at last. Defeat. Rewards: 1. SSJ unlocked. Music, Nanatsu no Naruto now finds himself back in Konoha, but the village is smoldering from unprecedented destruction. What the hell happened? Is this what was meant by special area? He says, running through the streets and finding scores of dead, but two he immediately recognizes. Kakashi. Anu, Naruto shouts, rushing to the downed bodies. Kakashi is shielding Anko with a sword through his back and her chest as Naruto falls to his knees. Who could have done this? Naruto says. I do not know, boy, Musashi says. Naruto slowly closes their eyes and springs to his feet as tears fill his eyes, but he has to find someone alive. He continues to search and finds the likes of Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, Tuchi, Ayame, Hanayama, Hitomi, Mikoto, Tobium, Shizune, Taunton, and even Itachi. En Naruto, a voice calls, and Naruto sees Sarada on the ground with a hole in her stomach. Sarada, Naruto says, reaching her. Sarada weakly reaches her hand up to his face as he kneels. He came in the blackness, she says. He, Naruto says. He was too strong. And no one was safe. He took Kagaya and Tsunade to the town square, Sarada says, her hand falling and face unmoving. Naruto clenches his fist to the point of bleeding and punches the ground next to them as it fractures. I'll make him pay, he hisses. He rises to his feet and rushes to the center of the village and violently murder the person responsible for killing his precious people. Naruto reaches the center of Konoha and his eyes widen in horror as a figure shrouded in shadows is holding Kagaya and Tsunade by the throat, and Naruto both choke out. How good of you to finally join us, Ningen, the figure says. Let them go, Naruto shouts, but the figure only laughs. Why should I, and if you wish to know my name? Call me Rose, the figure says. Why have you done this? Naruto says, his anger boiling. I simply did it on a whim, is something I wanted to say. However, it was you who pushed me to this. Beta male, Rose says, and Naruto's eyes narrow, but his eyes widen in horror as Rose atomizes both. Naruto's body trembles as he falls to his knees and Rose is revealed to be Kiba, but his brown hair is pastel pink color with faint white highlights. I now see why you were always so strong. Now I have the same power as you. Meaning I am the true alpha male of our species and every female is mine, Kiba shouts. Naruto doesn't hear Kiba's ranting but replays the deaths of everyone, and this rage fills his body as he grips the dirt. Huff, Kiba says, as the wind picks up. The source being Naruto as dark clouds move across the skies of Konoha and the ground cracks around the redhead, his body trembling in rage as veins bulge on his arms and his red hair spikes up, giving it a rising, flame-like appearance. Naruto rears up with an echoing roar of rage as his body explodes with golden energy and it dies down to reveal Naruto now on his feet, his red hair now a golden blonde along with his eyebrows. His azure blue eyes are now a pupil-less greenish blue, his muscle tone more defined, and his skin tone now lighter with a pulsing, flame-like aura. Kiba. Why you will pay, Naruto roars, his aura explodes and rushes towards Kiba. He flares his dark pastel pink aura, but Naruto slams a punch into his gut and his eyes wide out, sending him crashing through several buildings. Kiba recovers, but it is too late as a large yellow blast atomizes him like he did Kagaya and Tsunade. Naruto hovers above the crater with a blank face as prompt appears. Song ends. Quest complete. Rewards. 1. SSJ unlocked. Naruto awakes on his bed with a start. Was that all real, he thought, rubbing his face and sitting up. I don't believe so. Perhaps a means to awaken SSJ state, Musashi says. Naruto goes in his bathroom and does his business. Seems so real though, he says, getting dressed in his academy uniform. He makes himself some breakfast of a dozen eggs, adding cheese, bacon and slices of toast bread before starting on his dailies, which have doubled and he can use shadow clones. Now to see it in action, Naruto says, making some clones and erasing his presence to enter a training ground to make one more clone. Okay, transformed, Naruto says. The clone focuses and his muscles become more defined as his hair raises, flashing between red and golden blonde as his golden aura explodes. Naruto stares with wide eyes at the sight of his SSJ self, so that what it looks like from the outside in, he says. How can we swing this for training, the clone says. I'll have to send some reinforced clones outside the village, Naruto says, dispelling his clone. He makes his way to the academy and sees the others arriving, but his face scrunches at the sight of Kiba and keeps calm. It wasn't him, he thought. Naruto, Kagaya says, and Naruto turns with a smile. She has grown more beautiful in these 2 years, her snow white in a high ponytail and a bust to match a certain blonde. Hey you too, Tsunade says, her blonde hair short in a bun and clocking in at 106 centimeters. Hey, Sarada says, annoyed at her stacked friends. So today is the day, Naruto says, pushing the quest's events to the back of his mind. Indeed, the three said. They head inside as several were looking in jealousy towards the trio and raged towards Naruto but knew better to mess with him. Everyone is milling about and talking as Irika, and he calls for them to sit down for the written test, being the first part. Naruto goes through his test but decides to check his stats as he does. Strongest in the village, Musashi says. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 100, 232, 500/780,000. Stats. HP 135,000. CP 135,500. CC 85%. STR 560. SPD 550. STA 710. Dex 540. VIT 860. CHK 1580. WIS 230. Stat points 5. Maybe, but I should keep going, Naruto thought and thinks of Unchained strength. He soon finishes his test and places his head down until the other finish their tests, adding his points into STR bring him to 565. Teachers collect their tests and lead them outside for their accuracy test on stationary but also static targets. Clan children make various scores between 17 to 20, with Sarada getting a perfect score compared to Kagaya and Tsunade. Naruto gets a perfect score as well to Kiba's Ire, and Civilian get close 15 or below, with Sakura getting that. Look like I am ahead, Sarada says. By one, Tsunade says, and Kagaya nods. Naruto ignores them to talk with Shikamaru and Choji about a few things, but mainly food, the redhead bringing up cheeseburgers, and this causes Choji to want to try it. Naruto told his rotund friend that he could invite him and Shikamaru for burgers. Come to my place at 6, Naruto says, and both nod. Us too. I'll invite Ino as well, Sarada says, and Naruto nods. So a graduation party, she adds, again another nod. The final part of the test is dispelling a genjutsu, demonstrate their skills for their chosen skill set. Each prospective genin head to the testing area when their name is called and returning with or without Hitayate. Kiba comes back with a smug look on his face, but it didn't matter Naruto as he has Shinobi Rookie of the Year locked. Each of the trio pass in their own way and each hoping to be Kunoichi of the Year, winning the title of head wife for Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki, a teacher, calls out. Naruto head to the area and immediately dispels the genjutsu. Good. Now demonstrate your ninjutsu. Taijutsu. Kenjutsu. Bojutsu and Fuinjutsu, another teacher says. Naruto faces a teacher in a taijutsu spar and his skills are fluid with no wasted movements, adding some bojutsu into it as well. Ninjutsu, a teacher says. Naruto starts by weaving signs to bird into clapping his hands and uses the gale palm, then more signs to tiger and sets a magically appearing card on fire, lastly signs to dog for several Mizu shuriken. 3 affinities with such an ease of transition, Iruka says. Naruto raises his sleeve and applies chakra to a seal on his wrist and a Bakken appears, Fuinjutsu and lastly Kenjutsu, he says. One of the Umbu having a Nico mask appears. I will be your partner, she says. Thank you, Nico, Naruto says. Iruka and the other teacher watch the elegant dance of swords by Naruto and Nico. While she holds the advantage, Naruto keeps up. Enough, Naruto. You've passed, Iruka says. Naruto and Nico bow to one another before she vanishes and he takes his hitayate. Now then. Time to collect the rest of my harem and work my way to SSJ 4-inch, he thought. And that wraps up today's chapter of Naruto, the Gamer Experience. Naruto's journey is only getting crazier. New powers, stronger enemies, bigger mysteries, and legendary battles still await. If you enjoyed this chapter, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next upload. Comment below, what was your favorite moment in this chapter? Until next time. Keep grinding. Keep leveling up. And I'll see you in the next chapter.